Okay, neuroplasticity is just like plasticity. Hi guys. Initially I kind of like wore makeup and all that, for the video, but then I realized I wasn't comfortable, and I was only wearing one contacts because I lost the other contacts, and then I spilled chili sauce. Can you focus it? Hey, yeah, chili sauce all over my shirt. Oh no, but this is like a daily mishap in my life. Oh my goodness. Okay. Anyways, today I'm going to talk about neuroplasticity. I thought this was such a cool term, such a cool thing, because you can basically rewire your brains and you can change your lives forever, and this is where I want to come in and tell you guys that there's always hope out there, even in like your darkest times, the times where you just feel like you've lost everything in life, at your rock bottom. You can still change your life. There is hope, and with neuroplasticity you can literally change the way you function in your life. And that's how I pretty much changed my life, and I became a happier person. You can literally come up from depression, anxiety, or just any other mental illnesses through neuroplasticity. Neuroplasticity is just basically like the rewiring of your brain, like your brain nerves, your neurons, pretty much. So, what it is that, number one, right, your brain is a two-way street, correct? It is as easy to generate positive thoughts as like your negative ones. I've written it here, in this beautiful notebook. Yeah. Therefore, there's always hope, and honestly, generating positive thoughts is actually not that difficult. The first step, yes, it's very difficult, but once you get past that first step, it just starts snowballing, and then you become better and better and better every single day. It took me 3 years, to be honest, to reach this position in my life, and I still have so much to go in this journey. Okay, next. Every time we learn something new, what happens is that our neurons, right, so it's focused on that. For example, you're learning like a new language, correct? And your neurons will be focused on that. That means your neurons will be creating linkages for that. So when that happens, when all that energy is like kind of focused on that, what happens to your neurons? Say for example, like the ones that generate negative thoughts, they become weak, correct? So the more you focus on positive things, the more you focus on bettering yourself and your life and loving yourself and on happier things, your negative neurons, they start to weaken, and therefore you become positive, a much more positive person and a happier person, of course. Number three would be your brain takes notes of all your good attempts. So you will have days where you maybe would not have done something very well, or like you would have failed or something like that. That's okay, because your brain takes note of all the times that you had such a big win, and that will again motivate you to do better. Correct? Say for example, like one day you did exercise, you didn't do well. The second day it was amazing, you finished like your entire exercise routine. Third day wasn't so well, but that's fine, because your brain takes note of like day two, and that will like kind of push you forward to do better. Number four is that you don't exactly have to like move much. You don't even have to move an inch to take that first step, because all you got to do is just visualize yourself being really happy or being really positive, basically a very positive image of yourself, or doing something really amazing for yourself, or being successful or something like that. And then you have repeated thoughts of that, and that itself is enough to connect your positive neurons together, to connect neurons to have a much more positive effect in your life. My throat is already dry, yeah? Hey, number five would be, you see, the initial change, correct? Startingல ரொம்ப கஷ்டமா தான் இருக்கும். என்ன பண்றது? At the start it was so hard for me. For example, one of like my you know my I would say my important example, I would say like the example that really matters to me would be when I first started meditation. It was so hard. To be honest, like schools should actually like add meditation into their syllabus, because it's so important. Like having a still mind is so important, because the calm mind makes the best decisions. Yeah, so when I first started meditation, I started doing it for like less than a minute, because sitting down there itself, in silence was very difficult. Half the time I will just end up sleeping. Yeah. So that happened to me 3 years ago when I started to regularly practice meditation, right? And yeah, so first year was challenging, but slowly, right now, on my third year, I can safely say that right now, I can meditate twice a day. So yeah, because it took practice, and that's what it is. So initial change, of course, it'll be very hard, and you can't expect like overnight changes. It takes time. It's a journey, and first month would be difficult, but on your sixth month, you will really like notice the change. So when you know that the outcome is actually going to be good, and how do you know that? Because you will feel all the happiness, all the dopamine release. Like, oh my god, I did something challenging today. I did something that's going to make me a better person today, and your brain recognizes that. So once your brain knows that it's good for you and it's important for you, the neurons start to connect better again, and it will make you do it more often, right? That is that. Number 6. So when all your positive neurons, right, when they come together, there's a sense of like strengthening taking place down there, correct? So then this becomes a routine. And for me, again, having a routine, you've got to develop that. First of develop you've got to develop that. First month again is going to be difficult, but to me, I think, well, to me, for me, it took me like, I think, 3 years ish to really like get into like a routine. So it's getting there. I mean, I'm coming there, but like, yes, I mean, it's a journey for sure. So that becomes a routine, and therefore your positive thoughts start to connect better, especially when you start to do good things around you, just things that make you happy essentially. And then, so when you have a routine, what happens is that your brain itself, it starts to predict what's going to happen next, correct? So your brain is very comfortable doing that, like the routine thing that you do every single day. This is why essentially they say morning routine, because that really like kind of calms your brain, relaxes your brain, and it maximizes your energy for the day in general. And it reduced my anxiety by a lot by having a routine. If you're a person with anxiety, try developing a routine. It will be very, very helpful. Number 7 would be practice. This is why we have the quote, practice makes perfect. Ooh, what a quote. So cliche. But see, this is the thing, I never knew that there was actually a backstory to this. And I was a pure biology student, and like I never learned about this. Maybe, I don't know, maybe it's part of the psychology syllabus, I don't know. But the more you practice, what happens is that your neurons, for that, it starts to strengthen better, correct? This is why essentially practice makes perfect, because essentially you just become better at it. That's what it is. It's like science, right? So there'll be more powerful coordination. The more you practice it, the more powerful the coordination between the neurons are. And this again, in turn, it gives a more powerful and reliable behavior for yourself. So that in turn gives you more self-confidence, ధైర్యం worldకి face பண்ண ధైర్యం. Yeah, that's it. When the brain, right, when it's disengaged, pretty much, scrolling through social media, I do that all the time. This is when the process of your neuroplasticity, right, that switch itself, it's off. Like, you're not having much um neurons connecting with each other when you are doing activities that don't motivate you or makes you feel bad, or just disengaged in general. And I mean, basically things that don't really require a lot of effort. Those activities, it does not create neuron connections in your brains. So I guess that's why they say a lot of the times that we've got to reduce the usage of social media or our phones or things like that. I feel like when you dig deeper, only you really understand why our parents or teachers, they say something, correct? So yeah. Ooh. You can change your life. You can change your life no matter how bad of a situation that you are at right now. I mean, if I did, anyone can. If I became a happier person through all that sad times, anyone can. Anyone can. Okay, so never lose hope. I mean, of course, it's easier said than done, I know, but you want to change your life, you got to start with yourself. Change something small. Maybe like get up, drink like a sip of water every day, and then that slowly will snowball into like drinking 100 ml of water, and then 250 ml, and then maybe a liter of water, after like 6 months. So that's how it is. You've got to start small. Just take that conscious decision to change your life. If you think your life is not doing well, it's all about change, and change is the only constant thing in life. So enjoy life. We can create the life that we want. It's possible. There's always hope out there. So bye bye, toodles. Until next video, bye bye.